you will see crazy. So I know normal. I know they okay. If you don't give me the house that I paid for, I go show you crazy. Back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Elabadi, and I am back again with another exciting video, and that's on PV. Yeah, okay, that I'm smiling. House hunting in Lagos is not a joke. This past few months, I have seen shaking. Before we get into this video, let's drink for the matter, because this kind of gist, no be gist where they go to use clear eyes to talk. Enough, I sign your girl now. I hope you learn one or two from this video, okay? Because there are a lot of scammers. So let's get right into this video. I started house hunting January of 2023. But mind you, my house rent was supposed to be due by March of 2023. But I'm the kind of person that I like to do things ahead of time. I don't want a situation whereby 1 minute somebody will not come and embarrass me and saying, please pack out your load and leave my house. I like to respect myself. I don't like to see finish. I had a budget for this apartment. And mind you, the house I was looking for was a studio apartment, a self-contained, but it's more like a studio apartment where you have your own personal kitchen, everything in your house, but just a single room. So that was what I wanted. And my budget was for ₦1,000,000. And normally, Lagos is divided into two, right? We have the mainland and the island. It is perceived that the mainland is for the low-income earners, the small boys, the people that are managing and struggling, while the island is for like the big ballers and the fake life gangs, slay mamas. So I had plans on moving to the mainland because I didn't have a lot of money with me. I'm like, okay, I want to be intentional with myself, my progress. I want to see what I'm using my money for, right? So I'm like, let me go to the mainland, but this my mouth won't kill me. I started seeking the opinion of different people and asking them, oh, what do you think? It's a good idea to move to the mainland. A lot of people like, Ella, you've come so far already to move back to the mainland. From grace to grass, why would you want to move back? It's like going back to your vomit and all of that. Me that I already have my plan, jelly. I gave it a second thought. I'm like, okay, what am I even doing on the mainland? Island is for the big ballers. I mean, I'm a big girl, so why am I on the mainland? It's true. Smear of eyes. Better come and sign a deal with me, because I'll give you customers. I have a budget, and my budget is ₦1,000,000. To me, I felt like it was a lot of money, right? So I downloaded an app where you can see houses that are available for rent, and you can go and do inspections, because these agents are there to take you for inspections, right? That's how I started going out to house hunts, different agents. I saw a lot of houses, but I couldn't find like a studio apartment for my budget. The only houses I was seeing was just shared apartments. If you don't know what shared apartment is, it is more like a duplex that is rented by different people, and everybody comes together and use the kitchen. Go and watch my previous video. I'm going to link it on here so you can see what the shared apartment is. So I was only seeing shared apartment, and the prices I was seeing shared apartment were too expensive. How am I going to spend 1.something million for a house I'm going to be sharing a kitchen with people? This island is so overpriced. Freaking hell! I wasn't having it because I'm like, this house don't even want these things, because you put water heater and you put small glass door. You're not expecting that we should not rent it for 1.9, 1.8 million, and I'm not be sharing kitchen. Mind you, I was dealing with a lot of agents at that time, and they were all taking me to different locations. Some of them were beautiful, but they were like way above my budget, and the other ones that were beautiful as well, I didn't like the environment. There was no security, because all those things are important to me. I don't just like a house because it's beautiful. I always look out for the environment. So I don't want to encounter any of these bad boys on the road, because I mean, it's not safe anywhere. I'm so sorry if this video is echoing. I'm currently filming in my corridor, and I'm the only person in this building, but I mean, you're enjoying the gist, you don't have to care, right? None of them was below 1 point. It was always falling under 1.something million, right? So I finally found one house that I loved. It was a shared apartment, mind you, because I mean, at this point I had given up on a self-con, like a studio apartment, so I was looking for a shared apartment. So I decided to opt for a shared apartment. Guys, this is where my problem started. She's plenty, just relax. This house was just what I wanted, because it was aesthetically pleasing. The kitchen was new, the toilet was new, it had 2 windows, came with a big closet, the tiles were new, as in Everything was just given, and it was also in an estate where you're sure of 18 hours or 17 hours of light, because they have this lister gen that they turn on immediately the light goes off. That aside, when you come out of the estate, you're going to see stores, hair salon, markets, anything you're looking for was just around you. So I was like, wow, I would go for this apartment. And this apartment was going for 1.280 as at 1.380, right? I'm like, okay, let me go for this, because my budget is 1 million, but 280 added to my budget is not a lot. So let me just, because this is the most affordable and this is the finest I have seen. Not the finest, but like environment wise, it was the finest I have seen. So I'm like, okay, let's go for this. Before we even talk about payment, I was asking the guys, are you sure this apartment is available? Are you sure they're going to turn on this lister gen? Because I don't want a situation whereby I have paid for the house and tomorrow you'll be telling me that they cannot turn on the gen. I even asked some people I found around, if your house hunting in Lagos, be sure to always ask questions. Do not make payments immediately. Always come back to ask people around questions, because these agents can lie. They are the kind of people that they will lie because they will, I know that they're trying to sell their market, right? But they will lie and forget that they are putting another person's life in danger or making someone else's life uncomfortable. So I made sure to do my findings and I got all the answers that I needed. So I'm like, okay, I'm going for this house. So that's how I picked that house, and I'm like, okay, I will pay for this. Are you sure this house is available? I asked the guy, I don't want to problem for myself. The guy said, yeah, it's available. If you pay immediately, you will get the keys to the house, you get everything you are looking for. Because please, if you are going to house hunt in Lagos, do not go alone. That's another thing I wanted to mention in this video. Do not go alone. Always make sure to go with somebody so you can negotiate and bargain very well, and also go with someone that is tough so that they will not scam you. So I'm like, okay, no problem. What's the person's account number? Can I see the person? He's like, no, I have to make payment to the person, and when I pay that, he's the one that is going to give me the keys to the house. So that day, I had my money in my bank account. So I was supposed to make a transfer to him because I couldn't go to the bank. So I'm like, do I make a transfer and then you give me the keys and you receipt to the house? The guy was like, okay, no problem. Make your transfer. I said, all right. Let me go find Wahala. So I collected the account number. When I did the transfer, it didn't go, and the thing I could see on my mobile banking app was I've exceeded my limit. So I decided to break it into bits and transfer to the guy. So that's how I did the first 600, and I was going to do the second 600 to balance it up, right? The first transfer of 600,000, it went through. After trying the second time to make the second payment of the 600,000, I couldn't make the transfer. And my mom was like, hey, by me. So I just sent somebody 600,000 naira, just like that. My plan was to send them the money immediately, collect my keys and collect my receipts and go. I didn't want to even leave them without taking my keys. So I was so worried. I'm like, hey! After everything I've heard in Lagos, me too, I've now jammed one chance. So I now told the guy that, see what is happening, can I come back tomorrow morning and balance it up since I've already done 600, or do you mind refunding me back the 600,000 naira so I can go home, right? Then tomorrow I can just go to the bank and send everything and forward to him. He was like, no problem. He will talk to the owner of the house and he's sure that she's going to agree. So I'm like, cool. Before I got to see this house, I have seen a lot of houses and I've seen what has happened to other people, so I know stories about house hunting in Lagos. Plus my own stress I've gone through, so I was like, please, okay, I beg, scam me, I beg. The guy was like, no problem, you can come tomorrow and balance up. I'm like, okay, no problem. The following day, by 6 a.m., I was already at the bank. That's how I was to make payment for the house, because that house was literally my dream house. So when I got to the bank, they said the banks were not functioning, the banks were closed. I'm like, what is happening? That was when this no cash policy started in Nigeria. So I'm like, what is happening? Why would all the banks close without any notice? So I went to another branch, the same thing. That day I spent so much on transportation just to get a branch that works so that I can just transfer my money to these other people, because I was scared that someone is holding half of my money and I haven't even gotten a receipt or keys. It wasn't fruitful. So I had to call the agent. I told him, this is the situation of things in Nigeria. They said all the banks are closed. It was like, okay, that I should try, okay? So the first day, second day, third day, it was the same thing. Fourth day, even it got to a point I even started updating on my Instagram story saying that if you know any branch that is open, please inform me so that I can go to the bank, because I was so desperate. I wanted to pay my money so that I can get the keys, because I was scared. So fast forward to like 1 week later, bank still no open. My money has been with these people for 1 week, right? So at a point, they too realized that it was a general thing, because I mean, they had to also use the bank, and it was the same thing for them. So nobody was coming for that house at that time. At this point, I was relaxed, because I even spoke with the estate management of the house. I took the guy's number. I spoke with a lot of people, because me, I'm kind of person that when you scam me, you need to do like this. I must try my best. I must, go through. I must collect all the information needed, because this money is not easy to come by. The money might be small for a lot of people, but to me, it was a lot of money. I mean, this was going to be my first luxury apartment. I'm like, hey, God, what is going to happen like this? Hey, Jesus. I finally entered the bank and I made payment to these people. That is when my frustration started. I called them up. I'm like, hello, where are you? I've paid though. Can I come and collect my keys and my receipt? Because me, for the past 1 week, I don't feel sleep. I don't sleep. So my mind was there, because somebody was going to have payment. I'm like, hey, you cannot come and fail me at this point of my life. I already posted on social media that I'm getting a new house and this. So I'm like, hey, God, do you want to shame me? Or is it my turn? Because there's this thing that my mom used to say that, in fact, not just my mom, I've heard it said countless times, that if you want to get something, do not, move in silence, do not tell anybody until that thing becomes a reality. So I was thinking, maybe it was forces that were fighting. That was the reason why I couldn't make them. I was so scared. I feel like my Instagram kind of like low me to an extent, because I have a habit of telling them beforehand whatever is happening. Even if I don't tell them, I always give hints on my Instagram, because that is more like my personal space. And I just assume that everybody there, even if you like me or not, everybody on that space is my family. That's how I assume it. So if you like me on my Instagram, I'm a hater. It's your business. Alright? So people were already expecting me to say, hey, get the house is around. Not knowing, say, and I cry, I won't cry, go back out. And I called the agent down at the gates. I had to wait for this agent to come and meet me for 2 hours. I was sitting at the estate gate. When this guy came to the house, to the estate, he now brought the keys and now took me to a different apartment. I'm like, no, this is not my apartment. This is not what I did. This is what I paid for. As in me, paid for what? The first time I came to the house, I made paid happening. I did a vlog. I made a video of that house. That was not arguing with me. This house was different. It was the same structure, but it was older than this other house that I paid for. This one was old, had just one window. There was no ventilation. It was so dark. You know those kind of houses where it would be morning, but it would be looking like it's evening, because there was no lights, there was no sunlight coming into the house. The house was so stuffy. The toilet was so old. The kitchen was old. And I paid for a new house, and you're giving me something else. I said, this is not what I paid for. So now that it's not too late, let's go and collect the other keys to this house, because they're giving me another house. That's when this guy now told me that they both houses are owned by different people. Mind you, these two houses are in one estate, right? In one block. So I'm like, how is that on my business? You told me to pay money for the house that you showed me. I paid money for the house that you showed me. Now you're carrying me to another house. How is that my cup of tea? Okay, I don't want to talk much, because if I start, I'm going to craze here. I'm so angry that I did not make a video of the house, because I would have loved to do like a comparison, so that you guys can check if it's the same thing. Even if you don't have craze in Lagos, you need to also do as if that you are not okay mentally. Because if you're like, hey guys, oh my gosh, they are going to use your and see shaking. Posh life does not fit Lagosians. I told the guy that, you will see craze, so I know normal. I know they okay. If you don't give me the house that I paid for, I will show you craze. I will make it for you, I swear for you. I was really trying to like threaten him so I will know that this one I borrow, you don't jam much hands. But even though deep down inside my mind I was scared, that this guy now said that he doesn't know what to do, that this is the house he thought he showed me. I said, what are you saying? If this house you're showing me right now that I should take, it was clean, I would have collected it. The fact that this house is dark, and I'm a content creator, I mean, this is one of the reasons why I'm even spending more for a house, because on a normal, I will go and collect one room inside one evil forest, because me, I don't care. I have plans for this house, and all of a sudden you're not carrying me to a different house. Okay, you go see Chris. It was like that I should come back the next day. He's going to fix things. He will find a way to go about it. I said, guy, we are not going anywhere. I was so scared that if I had left him, he would have, absconded, and I would not be able to find him. And me, if somebody had told my own point to me, what I would talk. If I just say that somebody has committed murder, a YouTuber committed, that's what people have just heard. What would I have done? Hey, in this hard time, Jesus. And I'm dragging. I was like, guy, let's go and meet the estate management. We have to complain this thing to the estate management. So I got to the estate management. The estate management now said that, what is the problem? And I explained everything to the estate management. The estate management now asked him that, like, the first house he showed me, is it still available? The agent was like, yes, it's still available. So why not give the girl this house that she paid for instead of giving her this one that she did not pay for? You can always get your money back when you rent this house. He was like, this one that I paid for is a different owner, that the two houses were for two different people. So this management was like, okay, since this house is for two different people, call this other person and find out if the house is available. If she says the house is available, transfer the money to this person. Then find someone to come and take this other one. When the person pays you, that's how you get your money back, to avoid any issue. He now called the lady. The lady was like, the house available and it's going for the same price, if not even less. He now said, okay, he does not have the full money, but he can pay half of the money to her just to secure the house before someone else come and get the house, right? That's how. And I said, oh yeah, secure the payment. And I asked him, when will he be able to make the full payment of the house so I can move in? Because if he doesn't pay the full payment, I cannot move in, right? So he was like, he'll make the full payment in the next 2 days. So I'm like, okay, because I have church mind and I'm a good person, I'm a Christian, I'm going to give you 1 week. Use 1 week and go and settle yourself. Just you can to make sure that by 1 week time, this house is paid for so I can move in. Mind you guys, before coming to meet this agent to collect my keys, I had already packed my load outside my house. So I was expecting to move in the next day. I was so much in a hurry to leave. I didn't want to even waste time. Before I got home, rain had already beat my bed. Everything was soaked. That's how I started sleeping on the ground. Oh my God. Person get 1.something million, they sleep for ground. Nobody do that. Every day I was crying. I couldn't post, I couldn't say anything. I was just waiting for 1 week to read. So anytime I asked him what's going on, he would be like, yeah, I've not gotten the money. I was like, hey God. Which kind of problem I don't put myself like this also. I now reached out to a friend because at this point I was helpless. I didn't know who to help me, who to call, because mind you, I was doing all this by myself. This is the reason why I'm saying that always make sure to go with a guy if you're a lady, and if you're a guy, you should be tough enough to go by yourself, because these streets, these people, they are not joking, they are crazy. She was like my last hope. And I called her like, this one is happening to me. I know I explained everything to her. She said, she has an uncle that is an army guy that he can help me. I'm like, hey, thank you, because in this country called Nigeria, you don't get anything that they fear past army. If I called a lawyer or a police, they would have not have taken it seriously. And that scripture in the Bible that says, the violence taken in by force, that scripture was talking about Nigerians, because that is what we understand, violence. So before meeting this my friend to help me, I already spoke with the owner of the house directly. So I was telling her that it was a wrong payment, that the agent made a mistake, that this house was not what I paid for it, that she should refund back the money. She then told me that the money I paid to her, she has used the money, that she cannot make a refund. The money is gone. Oh yeah, talk to this other person so that I can move in. Then when you have the money, you can come back. She said things are not done that way. And I threatened her like, ma'am, I don't know you personally, and you're the one I paid to. So if you continuously tell me that you cannot refund me back my money, I'm going to invite my lawyer, and this is not going to be taken lightly, right? I was trying to like threaten her to make her feel like I get praise for it. This woman, do you know what she now replied me? She now said, if I bring my lawyer, she will bring a lawyer, because what do I think this is? Things are not done this way. I'm like, yeah. I'd cry. I was frustrated. So that's how I now spoke to my friend. I said, babe, I don't know what to do anymore. She now introduced me to her army brother. Army brother now called me that he wants to see me one-on-one. I spoke with him and I explained things to him. So he called the agent on phone. He now spoke with the agent like I'm his sister, and now said, my sister rented a house from you, blah blah blah, and she's saying that you have not given her the house, and she does not have the keys to the house and the receipt to the house. What is going on? When can you pay the balance of this apartment so that she can move in? He now said that he does not know when he's going to be able to balance the money, that you can take 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, or 4 months. So the army guy was like, so you don't know exactly when it's going to be cleared. So my sister should stay outside. She should live outside with that load and all of that outside. Wow, you don't have a conscience. So please, I'm begging you, in 2 weeks time, make sure that this house is available. The agent was like he would try his best, he does not know, but he would try to see if he can do anything in 2 weeks time. The army guy and myself decided to plan, like to set him up in a way that we can apprehend him, so that we can force him to pay money, which was not supposed to be the right way for things to go, because I mean it is wrong. But like I said, in Nigeria, the violence they get it by force. This is a country where everything goes. We had to find a way to track the agent by telling him that we want to rent an apartment. It was the only way we could get him to meet us, because at the point he was now being cunning, he was now dodging based on the fact that he could not balance the money. So when we apprehended him, they now used force. I will attach videos. The army guy was now gingering. I will take you to the barrack. If you don't, army now. Army does not hear more. They get crazy. At this point, we're patiently waiting for the agent to just fall into our trap, because he now showed up. So the army went to pick him based on VIP weighing bid. When he entered the car, they now asked him, "Oh yeah, transfer this girl's money back to her." You can tell from just this clip that I suffered. All my trousers were literally falling down from my waist. But at the same time, I was so confident because I know that I wasn't going to live there without my money. The agent was not saying he does not have money, that he needs to call the landlady, that she's the one that is with the money. The army guy was like, I don't want to hear.
Guy, if I wait here for 1 hour, I don't see my money. Second time, if you beg me, I will not pay. Yes or no?
The agent had no choice than to refund the money immediately. So they did now to pay for the apartment because of force. That's why this Baba now said that okay, he wants to make the transfer, that we should call my account number. When I called my account number, I said there was no network. The army guy was like, you are mad, there's no network. Come on, follow me to the bank. Don't be smart, They didn't touch him, but he was just shaking. Why? Because they've already threatened him, told him that if he does not, they have taken him to the barrack. And you know what it means to be in the barrack in Nigeria? They will drill you like crazy. Both people who don't know you, both people that know the matter will beat you, because I mean that barrack is like a danger zone. It's like taking a human being and dropping that person inside the lion's den. The agent knew what was out there for him, so he was so scared. So when he got to the bank, he now had to fill out the form and made a deposit, a transfer to my account, and paid everything. Mind you, all these things took about 2 weeks before I got my money. At this point, I had already lost hope. It was someone that said that he wasn't going to make payments till 4 months, 5 months, that he does not know when. Even the owner of the house was like, she cannot make a refund. So after everything happened, I'm like, wait, now so I for years lose my 1.28, like that money would have just gone. Because they were already telling me that they cannot, I have to manage the house that they are giving me. Like they were now forcing the house on me, that I have to manage it. Because even when I told them I was going to get my lawyer, they were like, they also have a lawyer. And you know that lawyer things takes time. And I needed a house to move in, because as at March, my rent was going to be due. So if I now use lawyer and them will start, before they go give me back my money, it would have been due in my former apartment. So I would have had to renew the rent. So it was so much, like I said all my property, everything was outside. Rain beat my things, I couldn't eat. You yourself, can you even eat? You when they watch me, can you eat? I had to go offline for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Nobody saw me on the internet. Me that I cannot even drink water and keep up without posting on my social media. Like it was so bad. I suffered this period. So I'm here to like make this video as an awareness that if you are going to house hunt, please be on your 10 toes. Be on your 10 toes. Always make sure to make a video of the property. If you know that you're not paying immediately, make a video of the house, right? Before you make payment, so that you can have something to say, like a proof. Because if I didn't have that video, that guy would have said it was that house, because he was even denying. Until we saw that video, he was telling me that that was what I paid for. Number 2, make inquiries, because this agent lied. He told me that the lister gen, like the house came with a gen, which of course the house came with a gen. But when I got to find out, the security told me that the lister gen was not coming on, that they were not on it, that it was a self-serving apartment where you have to use your own generator and buy your own fuel. So I was paying more and not getting the services that he claimed I would have had. Number 3, they do not respect females. If you're going to house hunt and you're a female, nobody gives a shit. In fact, they would match on your head, they will try to scam you, they will try to do everything. Because I mean, he was not the first person that did something like this to me, but this was the only one that I gave my money to. So that is the reason I'm talking about this one. So always be sure to go with somebody, because if you don't go with anybody, go by yourself. They'll think because you're a female, you are weak, you cannot do anything. So they want to take advantage of you. And number 4, before you want to make payments, in fact, let them have their keys, their receipts. I would rather you don't even do transfer. I would rather you carry the person or the agent or anybody and carry that person and go to the bank as they are doing. Let them be giving you the keys and receipts today. immediately. No time for stories. But 5, this is just a bonus point. It is not really necessary. Please be sure to know the owner of the property, because I didn't even know the property. Mind you, I was dealing with the agent already. So when it was time for me to get back my money, the landlord was like, she does not know me, that she didn't do any business with me, that is between me and my agent, that the money that she got was from the agent and that she had already spent it, because he said that the house has been given to someone. So I had no business with her. So please be sure to know the owner of the apartment. All this will help you if you're house hunting, because Lagos house hunting is going to show you grace. I know what I saw. It's not everything I can say in this video, just because I don't want the video to be too long. If you guys enjoyed this video, let me know in the comment section. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I love you guys. Until my next video, I love you.